Hello again, and welcome back to another daily technical analysis video. In this video, we'll be covering BNB. So now we're going to look at the daily time frames first and work our way down to the 4-hour and then the 1-hour time frame. But what we can see here on the daily time frame is basically a confirmation of the continuation of this overall downtrend. We've seen that there's resistance found under this 0.25 of this fib channel since the bottoming of May 2021. It's also in confluence with the daily S1 as well as the previous level dailies, and therefore there has been a rejection from there as a lower high for this impulse here. Now we're continuing to the downside. The other day we talked about a potential doji and a bearish engulfing. A daily closure has confirmed this sighting, so we could see a continuation towards the downside, a further decline. Right now would be approaching a close support of the daily S2. But I think that would be easily broken given that it hasn't been respected before either. But even then, there was other lower levels that are actually for a target that we'll discuss when we hit the 4-hour time frame. But even then, we got to consider this as the next support, followed by the rising channel bottom again. And then we'd have the daily 377 EMA followed by the daily S3. As of right now, honestly, if we do get a bounce off of this play here, it's still okay. We could see a reversal as long as we maintain a closure above this level here, and therefore this could be, if we reverse here, a higher low and therefore a potential push up. We can also watch for double bottoms or even bullish divergences if we want to see a bottoming here, but we are not there yet, so we got to keep playing towards the downside. It's more confidence towards the downside. The momentum is starting to fall again. We discussed previously that there would be a potential cross, but we need to see a confirmation one more day potentially of the closure of this crossover, because right now it's crossed but it's not confirmed on the daily closure. So in general, the daily time frame is pretty bearish towards the downside. Now if we go to the 4-hour time frame, we are actually seeing a divergence and a cross down, a perfect bearish lineup of the EMAs, and therefore a strength towards the downside based on the EMAs. We also see the stochastics and the RSI momentum towards the bearish territory and potentially entering the oversold zone for the RSI, so it's got a lot of more space to go down. As for the stochastics, it's currently in the oversold territory already, which would indicate that it has a lot of bearish strength, especially since it's diverging towards the downside. One thing we want to discuss as well is the previous channels that we were playing in, that we found support at the bottom of the HP before actually breaking down, but right now we've got closures below it, so I want to be targeting a breakout play here. Even if we miss the breakout retest here, we could look into the hourly time frame and actually look for lower highs to be sold off. But based on this targeting from here to here, we can see that the HS1 would be the closest target. Even though it exceeds it, I would actually just target and front run the HS3. But we do got to keep in mind that the 4-hour and that daily S2 we did discuss previously is right here, right before the target. So we could even see a bounce off of here, consolidation or something before being testing down here. But this is the ultimate target that I want to be looking for. But we still got to consider the in-between targets, which is the daily S2 and the 4-hour level here. Okay, perfect. So that's there. I believe, okay, what else? Momentum we discussed already, EMAs. In general, downtrending. So obviously we want to be playing a high low for shorts. Previously we were watching here for a potential bottoming around this bottom of the channel and potential longs, but instead there was a continuation pattern consolidation for the downside. So we played this, which was actually a lower high to this impulse right here before continuing to the downside. Now we can see that more clearly if we go down to the down time frame. Up to here we saw a double bottom forming here with a bullish divergence, and we wanted to play a double bottom, but in reality we didn't get an entry, so we didn't play that one and we discarded it. And luckily we did, because we would have targeted above here, which it did not hit, even though realistically you would target the top of the peak. But nevertheless, as we started waiting for the time, a channel was actually formed. A smaller channel in between this larger channel was formed right after this one. So we actually played a short in between right here, right after this second candle confirmation of this doji and topping of the channel here, and therefore we played it towards the bottom with a nice 1.68 risk to reward ratio with a stop loss above the previous high. It was also above the 21 EMA, which is pretty nice. and the EMA started to form and like confirm it to the downside. So besides this play, there was another play, I think, or even still playing, a breakout and retest of this level. We have the target for it. We are actually approaching it really soon, and this is the level right there. So this would have been this retracement of this. So first you could have played a breakout and retest, but I wasn't awake during then, so we missed the actual perfect touch of the channel for a retest. But nevertheless, we did enter right after the confirmations, I guess, of the red candle, and right here the stop loss is above the previous peak high. It's a little bit, it's not as good, but it might be working out right now. It's not as good because it's below the 21 EMA, but it seems to be playing out right now, and we are targeting here for the short run of the 1 hour time frame. It is most likely going to be easily to hit here because we are targeting the HS1, but we are still playing this short and waiting for the results to occur. Perfect. Okay, and then in general, EMA's downside as well as the momentum still has a lot more room to get to the oversold and therefore more bearish momentum. We want to be playing these higher low peaks, lower high peaks. Right now we wouldn't have an entrance. Maybe we hit the target, but we want to wait for a retracement before we actually play shorts. Even then, we can enter more positions into each short until we reach the hourly S1. But there you have it. Our main intention is to target that broken channel, stick with shorts as the market seems to be very bearish right now, especially on the daily and the weekly, I think it was too. But we are sticking to the downside. We have indicated our downside targets, but we actually forgot, if we have upside targets, first resistance would be the HP. And then let's see if there's any other ones before. So then the HP comes next, the I guess close to 100 EMA would be the daily S1. Well, actually first, depending on how the time goes, we would be watching for the 4 hour 100 EMA purple as it may decline. And typically we see those rejections off of that level. And then followed by that would be the daily S1. And then the top of this peak, which is in confluence with this HR1 and the daily level above here. Potentially the 377 may also add confluence to this level, but those are the levels that we want to watch for if the upside is to be had. Anyways, we are still sticking to the downside and the shorts. So I hope you like this video. I hope you learned something from it. Please like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell for more videos like this one and for continuations of previous analyses to confirm how it actually went out. Cheers.